Char Margolis, Char Communications Incorporated, and Char Vision LLC do not endorse or offer for any purpose but entertainment the views of any guest or other expert on Char Vision or UBN.
I knew things before they happened from the time I was a child. At the age of 8, I saw a spirit at the foot of my bed and didn't know what it was. And in my 20s, I finally realized I had a special ability that could help others. I have learned that love never dies. There is a spirit world that can communicate with us, and we all have the gift of intuition. Join me, and together we will explore the possibilities of the unknown from beyond and more. This is Char Vision. Hi, everybody. It's Sunny and Char, and today is February 28th, 2020. And we have a really exciting day today for you because you're all going to get something from this because I have a fantastic astrologer on, and her name's Danielle Mercurio, and I'm going to talk about her in a minute, but I just want to bring up one thing about this coronavirus. So, you know, the media likes to scare everybody, and the flu is bad too. I mean, everybody needs to take care of themselves and wash their hands and whatever. But the point that I'm getting at is that I do think it's going to be an impact in our world, but I also think it's going to be able to go away or be controlled eventually. So the most important thing is preventative medicine. I always take preventative holistic supplements. I mean, I had someone who said, boy, you must have really expensive like pee, like that, which is kind of obnoxious to say, but because I'm always taking stuff to prevent anything. And I just feel like people need to go into the white light and the mirrored egg that I teach you and not let fear overtake your mind, because you know, there's always going to be something. But I warned my clients that the economy was going to have problems, and it is, and this is going to cause issues. So my advice to everyone is stop panicking. You know, this shall pass too, and I'm putting all of you in my prayers. So I'm just so excited. Oh, did you guys see online that I had an amazing book party? I don't know that you have those photos. Do you, Kurt?
I'll get them.
Okay. I had an amazing book party at Kathy Hilton's house. Lauren King and Taryn Davis and Kathy Hilton gave me a really special launch party for my book, The Universe is Calling You. And there it is. The universe is calling you. Are you on my Instagram?
I'm on your Facebook. Should I go to your Instagram instead?
No, I think it's on my Facebook too.
Yeah, I think I saw it on your Facebook, so I'm gonna grab it.
Okay, so Kurt's here today. Oh, wait. So there's Michael Patrick King from. Wait, is he still on? There he is. Who wrote Sex and the City, and he wrote of. Wait a second. He and here's Chris Colfer. They both wrote endorsements for my book, which I'm so grateful for. And there's Glynis McCants, our favorite numerologist, and Carla Pennington, who's the executive producer of Dr. Phil, The Doctors, and also Daily Mail. And Daily Mail did a really nice story on us if you want to check it out. I think it's on my social media as well. And there's Paris Hilton and Dorothy Lucy and myself. And Paris came in late, and she came in with her little dog. I don't know if you have that photo. Yeah, there's one in there. She's got a 2.5-pound dog. There she is. So I stopped my readings for the group. And I said, and I gave her a hug and a kiss. And I said, can I please have, I didn't say, can I please? I said, give me Diamond Baby. That's the name of the little dog. Because if I don't have a dog, everyone said as soon as I had a dog in my hand, I lit up, right? My energy went great. And then there was Kathy holding the book up on stage. They had me sitting on a chair like a queen, which was a little embarrassing. I felt a little awkward, but they said such nice things, and all I could do was cry. So the first thing I said to everyone is, does anyone have any Kleenex? There was Stuart Krasnow and Casey Monroe, my friends, and Annie Krasnow, Stuart's niece, and I officiated her wedding many years ago. So, and there's Lauren King and I. The King and I. There we are. She's been a dear friend for years. It was her idea to have the party. And there's me with the cake. Is that it? Okay. So I know some people are just listening to this on audio. So we're gonna not show any more photos. And we're going to go straight to Danielle Mercurio. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. It's been such a fun week. I literally just met you like 2 days ago, and here we are.
Yeah. Well, I was on Danielle's podcast, and we at Char Vision decided that she would be fabulous to be on my show. But I just want to tell people a little bit about you, because you're a confidence coach and you're a speaker in Kundalini yoga and meditation, and you're a teacher and an astrologist. And you empower entrepreneurs. So you do life coaching for entrepreneurs as well?
I do, for those of us that are up and coming in this community that need help.
Yeah, and you know what I like about having you on, besides that I like you, is that you're from Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. And you know, people don't realize how many great things go on in Pennsylvania. Yeah. Where are you from, Pittsburgh or?
Well, Philadelphia.
Philly.
And what's interesting is I was in New York and LA for a while, and then Universe was like, you got to get back to PA. There's good stuff happening there.
Yeah, so because, you know, it's just like in my hometown of Detroit. I still am in Detroit. I mean, you know, you don't have to be in New York or California to do your work and to get it out, especially with your great podcast.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I think it's important that we all represent different cities and kind of are spread across the U.S.
Yeah, so you are our Philly person. I went to that. When I went to Philly once, I went to that place where there's two places to get those sandwiches, the Philly sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
And that,
Pat and Gino's.
Yeah, they compete with each other.
Yeah.
But
which one did you like?
It was delicious.
Good.
Could you put this up, Kurt? Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'm so excited because Danielle offered to talk to all of us about our signs and what's going on with our signs. But so we're gonna go through that. But you said that you did my chart. So is it selfish of me to have you tell me what you got?
Absolutely not. I think if anything, I'm sure everyone kind of wants to know a little peek into things. So before I share your chart, let me just give a quick little 30-second intro to what astrology is for anyone.
Oh yeah, okay, go for it.
Yeah, anyone that has kind of a question around it, and this is based around the notion of Western astrology. I live in a Western society. I'm a Western girl, so Western astrology it is. And so it's under the notion that astrology is this zodiac wheel. It's the 12 signs that we've all come to know. Beautiful. And we want to imagine that zodiac wheel lives right underneath the solar system. So every day, the sun, the moon, and the planets are moving around the zodiac wheel like it's a game board. Mm-hmm. And so when you're born, what we're doing is we're taking a screenshot of the zodiac wheel under the solar system to see where the sun, the moon, and the planets are on that wheel to create your chart. And so that's how I'm going to share a little bit about Char and what I think of her and why her soul chose that day. And then further, we can use this information to forecast out in the future based on where the planets are going, which we'll get into later.
You just gave me goosebumps when you said that my soul chose.
The soul chose the energy of the day, because astrology is just like the weather in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, what kind of day was the weather in the cosmos when you were born? And then we can kind of see how that affects your personality.
I heard there was a big rainstorm.
Was there?
Yeah.
I like it.
Like lightning storm and trees falling and stuff.
That makes sense. There's a lot of fire in your chart. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. And so, when you were born in August. So you're a Leo sun, and our Leo is kind of, our life force, how we show up to the world. But for you, what I also really love is you have a lot of Aries in your chart. You're an Aries moon. So when you were born, the moon was in Aries. Jupiter, our planet of how we like to make money, was in Aries. So for you, what I love is you're here to do things your own way. You're here to make money your own way. You're here to be the boss. And I love that. But what I love so much about the fact that you are really a Kickstarter and an entrepreneur in what it is that you do, you also have a really beautiful way of meeting people where they're at. So while you have a lot of clear goals when it comes to what it is that you want to do in this world and how you want to make money and how you want to show up, when people meet you, no matter what, they feel comfortable, they feel understood, they feel like she understands me. And you have a gift where you can do that immediately. And so no matter what, people's first impression, yeah, you're welcome. People's first impression of you is always like, she makes me feel seen. I feel heard because of her. And that's such a beautiful gift that you have.
Thank you. I try.
Yeah, no, it's there. That's how you're meant to show up. And it's the fire that's inside of you that fuels you to do so, right?
Right.
So that's a big piece. One thing I would say for this year ahead, I mean, you're doing the right thing. You're supposed to make money on your own, and you're supposed to be making money through your intuition. There's areas in our chart that showcase to us our gifts and how we can be supported by that. And for you do best when you're connecting to your higher source. When you're using your intuition, you are provided for, and you're able to, help others in turn, which is great. So for this year ahead, though, one thing that I would be mindful of is the home space. So what are you doing to make sure that you're constantly curating home in a way that feels good to you? There's a lot of moving around. And so what are you continuing to do to make yourself feel like this is home? I feel good. I'm not moving around too much. Maybe you're remodeling your space.
Well, you know what? It's funny because my apartment in Los Angeles, they just redid the whole balcony. The painters were in 2 days ago.
Remodeling. Yeah.
That's crazy that you say that. It's true. And I've been spending a lot of time there because of the book lately. And then I have a routine that I do every day. Like I do yoga every morning. I do my meditation and I pray for everybody in the morning. And then I have my Chihuahua that goes everywhere, who makes my house a home.
I love that so much. Yes, and that the renovations and stuff start earlier this year, like the end of last year into this year.
Honestly, it's been going on for over a year, and I was getting so frustrated, and I'm saying, in China they built a hospital in 6 days. This has taken you guys almost 2 years just to get this whole thing put together in a tiny little apartment.
Yeah. They need to get on that because it's really important that foundation is set and that there aren't people kind of coming in and out of your space. We gotta. So that should be finishing up soon, though.
Oh, good.
But there's a lot of energy around the home space and you making sure that it feels like home, and you have one spot that you can feel really grounded in, and then also know how to create home wherever you are.
I do. Thank you. That's a good thing.
Yeah. It is a good thing, but otherwise, like, things are really good. You're moving into a nice period when spring is actually one of your best times of year. So I don't know if you ever feel that way, but as soon as we hit spring, March 20th.
Yeah, I love the spring.
Okay, yeah, spring is your season. So a lot of times people think it's their birthday when it's their like prime season. For you, it's spring all the time. So whenever you want to start something, you literally go with the seasons and you do your best.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'd say that's a big thing too. So this spring, I'd love to see you moving into something else, like creating. I mean, you have the book now. What's next? And I don't mean to be that person to be like,
no,
what's next?
It's true. It's true. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay. So that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for all that.
You're welcome.
Was there anything in my chart about overseas? Because my astrologer said something about overseas, but I know people read differently, and when somebody says to me, I get really mad. I go, well, then go to that astrologer, that psychic. If they said that, go say that. But
yeah, I mean, there could be some travel with the book. Are you doing a book tour?
Right.
I would love to see you start a book tour in the summer if you haven't already.
Okay, yeah. Well, we're doing a big book party in Michigan. If you guys are in Michigan, April 23rd. Go to char.net and talk to Nicole in the office, because you can all be invited. It's by invitation, and it's really fun. It's going to be great.
Okay. We want to see more of that.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, terrific. Thank you so much. Okay, Let's start with Aries. What's in for our Aries people? Because now all the listeners out there, I want you to be patient because we're going to get to your sign as well. We're going to touch everybody's lives right now.
We are. And one thing that I will say when I'm sharing for every sign, if you're more advanced with astrology and you know your moon sign or your rising sign, these messages will pertain to that as well.
Okay.
That's my advanced astro people.
Right.
So what I would say for Aries, at this stage in the game, like it's been a quiet season for you, and you may be feeling a little bit frustrated. You may have been getting a little bit impatient, like, okay, like normally the start of the year, I'm like, go, 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 do. And I feel like I'm like going through mud, and that's not normally who I am. So just realize that in about a month, things are going to break. And I really want you to start to put yourself out there in ways that you haven't. And part of the reason why there's been such a slowdown and a wind down for you is because you're meant to be more full force once spring, kind of starts to come up. But really start to do things where you're getting attention, promotions are coming your way, where you're really like feeling seen. That's coming up. And if you're noticing that you've been really frustrated because you feel like you've been left in the dark, that's almost done. So give it about another month.
So Aries have been going through a hard time?
Yeah, they've been just frustrated because things have been kind of quiet, and that they're not used to that. They're not used to having to like be patient and ground down and focus on home life. They've been, they always want to just be doing, going. And energetically, there's been a slowdown for them, but it's going to turn and pick up in the spring.
And how's money for the Aries people?
Money's fine. It's steady. And I think that's what's causing some frustration. Again, there's been a lot of steadiness. And sometimes with astrology, we have to honor the patterns. The reasons why there's steadiness right now is to get you energetically in a place where you realize things are going to be ramping up, especially in the fall. The fall is a really opportune time for my Aries to see changes in the career, in the work front. You may even actually be experiencing job transitions. You may be in a place where you're thinking about a career change. You may be wanting to go back to school. Those are definitely things that are possible for Aries come fall.
And do you ever do the chart of like America or the United States?
I do that, yes.
Okay, let's talk about that at the end.
Okay, yeah, we can do it.
Because I'd love to hear, but what about Taurus?
Yeah, so then when we move into Taurus, we're starting to move into a season where Taurus, it's really important for you to start to identify your worth. How is it that you're showing up and allowing yourself to be fully expressed? A lot of Tauruses, you're not quite honoring what it is that you're worth. You're not asking for what you need. A lot of Tauruses right now, this year is a really good time for you to ask for that raise. There's a lot of emphasis overall collectively on career this year, though. Side note, that's why I keep bringing it up already.
That's good.
Yeah. So, and we'll talk more about collective money, but a lot of the signs are going to be dealing with career more so than anything else. So Taurus, are you getting that raise? Are you asking for that bonus? Make sure that your taxes, okay? I really want you to pay close attention. Maybe you need to hire someone to get the most return out of it. Also relationships. When we talk about money, when we talk about worth also is in your relationships, whether it be family, friendship, or romantic. Do you feel like your value is being received? So just like in a job where you feel like, am I being paid what I'm worth? In a relationship, are you being valued in the same way? Energetically, emotionally, are you being valued? And if not, this may be a window this year for you to start working on those relationships and strengthening communication so that you do feel more comfortable with the dynamics. And again, you feel like you're of value to the relationships that you have.
Okay. So, what about romance for Taurus? Is there anything?
Yeah, so Taurus, you're going to start to notice around your birthday season, May, a change up in relationships. This is where you may be tested when it comes to you might start seeing the red flags with certain relationships, the ones that you've been questioning. So right now, if you're in a relationship and you've been questioning it, a lot of the red flags are going to be revealed in May and June for you. And I really want you to listen to your intuition and really trust that if you're seeing red flags, it may be time to move on. But if you're seeing that, communication is really solid, things are moving forward in a good way, then that's a good sign that things are going to continue to move forward.
So is it a sign for Taurus to have new love in their life? Or
yeah, so for my Taurus that are looking for new love, I would say that would start to come to fruition mid to late summer. So if you're a single Taurus, have fun, right?
Right.
Have fun. date, I actually think this is a great opportunity for you to meet a lot of different people, so that then when we get into that season, mid to late summer, you'll
Okay.
really have a strong idea of who's compatible.
Oh, that's interesting for our Taurus friends. Taurus people are very loyal, aren't they?
Very loyal. And that's why sometimes they're too loyal and they get stuck in relationships.
And they lose themselves, I think.
Exactly.
Isn't
exactly.
That's so hard, right?
It is. So a lot of that's going to come to the surface May, June.
May, June. Oh, I'm going to watch out for all my Taurus friends. And what about Gemini? That's what Kurt is, a Gemini.
I am, yes.
Hello. So my Geminis, I call them my Peter Pan, my Alice in Wonderland. They are the curious ones. And so this year for you is really about learning how to, I would say, bridge together a lot of your different talents. Like Geminis can do a lot of different things. They're multifaceted, multi-talented. There's a lot that they have to bring to the table. And this year is going to start to present to you the ways that you can start to connect the dots so all your different things start to come together and you feel less scattered. I think a lot of Geminis have been questioning what am I doing with my day-to-day life? I think it's going to all start to kind of click and come together a little bit more. I also see a lot of things strengthening in the area of communication, whether that be media communication, social media, speaking up, speaking opportunities, presenting more at your job, things of that nature. There definitely is a need for Gemini's voices to be heard in whatever way makes the most sense for them.
What about health?
Health for a Gemini, I would take it easy on your birthday this year, Gemini. Don't go too heavy, okay? This is actually probably a good time to start to look at some of your health goals and the way that you're treating your body and some different regimens that you could do differently after your birthday.
Okay. Do you have any questions, Kurt?
I mean, no, that touched a little bit on everything. My mom just got sick this year,
right.
So it really has brought health into
He's been taking care of his mom.
Yeah. It's really put my life into perspective over health.
His mom just got out of the hospital today.
Yeah. So that touched on that. And then I've been thinking about getting more into computers and how to work with them too. So it's it's definitely you nailed everything on the head on that.
Yay for Danielle. Okay, that's exciting. Okay, so now we're going to go to Cancer, you guys. What's the dates of Cancer?
So Cancer is around June 20th until July 19th.
Okay, and what about those sensitive little Cancer people?
Our little crabbies. Our little Cancer crabs. So I would say right now you're in a space very similar to our friend Char over here. Home is on the forefront. So maybe you're moving into a new home, you're redecorating, you're remodeling. There's definitely some shifts that are happening in the home front this year for you. So really start to think about, and maybe you're not moving. You can say, Danielle, I'm not moving. Nothing's happening. Well, maybe you need a refresh. Maybe you need to be doing some purging. There might be, Cancer, sometimes you have a tendency to hoard things and hold on to stuff you don't need.
Right.
Let's start to kind of clear some of that out, because what you're going to find is why there's this push or this energy to change up the home space.
Right.
Is because you need some space in your life. You're so giving, you're always hosting people, you're always taking care of everybody, and it takes up a lot of space energetically. So then when your home is filled with stuff too, it's just a lot on you. So what can you do to start to clear things out, or maybe even change up your location entirely? I would love to see some freshness in your life.
Wow. Okay. What about romance for Cancer?
I would say romance for Cancer right now, things are actually pretty steady. If you're in a relationship, things should continue to go pretty well this year for you. I would say if you were to be tested at all, it would be around the July time frame. I'd say early July. I would say, honestly, romantic relationships, Cancers are having a good year. Where I would be more mindful is actually around the relationships with your family, like immediate family.
Okay.
Little bit of sensitivity, and so have patience and don't be afraid to have difficult conversations, because you're going to find that it's going to bring you closer together.
Okay, what about Leo?
We love Leo.
We are. We're both Leos, by the way. That's why we Leos love to be together in a den. And when I found out she was Leo, I went, oh my God, I love her.
Yeah, because then we just adore each other.
It's really sad.
It's like a little club. So my Leos, this year for you, a big emphasis is on taking your passions to the next level. So my Leos right now, whatever it is that you're doing, go bolder. like you could even push yourself a little bit more. Now, in order to push yourself, in order to get yourself out there and do things that really excite you, you want to make sure that you have the right support. So Leos, we're talking about getting your passions out into the world. What is it that you're doing that is allowing you to be more of an entrepreneur, more independent? Maybe you're selling your art. Maybe you're, getting into acting. Maybe, what is it that you're doing to get yourself out there in a bigger, bolder way? And who is helping you? Because sometimes Leos have a tendency to just be like, I'll just do it. I can do it myself.
Oh my God, that's so true, right?
But then there's a burnout that happens as a result. And then, they kind of hide in their cave a little bit, but that's like wasting time. So what can you do to bring in support to allow you to shine even brighter?
Right. Okay. What about health for Leos?
I'd say health for Leos, there was a little bit earlier this year at the start of the year where there might have been a little bit of heaviness around the health, especially when it came to the gut area.
Oh.
Yeah, so that should be we should be working through that now. And for the rest of the year, I would just say like the biggest thing, Leo, in general, you just always have to take care of yourself because, you're a lion, you're strong. And like, if you really want to function at your best, like it is really important that you're learning how to fuel your body properly in a way that makes the most sense for you.
Right. Okay. And can I just ask one more thing about love for Leo? Somebody here asked about love.
Oh, I'm always asking about love for this, Leo.
Right.
So what I would say, this isn't, if you're in a relationship, I would say, this is a year where hopefully you're strengthening it. You're finding more things to do together as a couple. There may not have been as much room or as much space to be social together.
Right.
So like more traveling, things like that. If you're single, kind of similar to, who was I talking about? My Tauruses, where you date a little bit, just have some fun, nothing too serious. There's going to be more significant love for you if you're single in 2021 for my Leos.
2021. Okay, there you go. We'll double date. Okay.
I love
it. Okay, and then Virgos. What is this with Virgos?
Well, a loaded question. There's it's actually funny. There's a theory, Linda Goodman, that you come back as the next sign in your next life. And so I always feel like Leos are always like, do I have to come back as a Virgo?
But they're so organized.
They're very organized. So what?
I mean, they're the best people to have work for you if you're not organized like I'm not.
%. Virgos are great at organization, getting a group together, making sure that everything functions. Community is a big piece for Virgo. That being said, Virgo also is all about this year too. It's also about not so much about taking care of everybody else and having so much on your plate, but learning to work on your own internal strength. Virgos, I want you focusing on your vitality. I want you meditating. I want you doing things that are allowing you to tap into whatever is you consider your higher self, religion, esoteric principles. I would love to see you start to explore some of that because this year for Virgo is about renewing your faith. And when I say faith, whatever that means for you, again, that could be God, religion, it could be yourself. But I think sometimes what happens with Virgo, and this has really been happening this year for you, Virgo, you have so much on your plate, you do too much for everybody else, and it's made you lose sight of what you believe in and what you want. And so this year for you is about getting back who you used to be and what you're ready to show up for and the faith that you can keep going that way.
Is there love for Virgos coming?
Yeah, so if you're in a relationship already as a Virgo, this is a year to really rebuild trust and lean on your partner. I really want you to start to open up to your partner and ask for what you need. You have a tendency to assume, or you have a tendency to just do it yourself. Right. What would it feel like to lean on your partner? And same for my Virgos that are single. Part of why you are still single is because you set too much of a wall up. And so if you can start to knock down that wall and really show up in a space that is vulnerable when it comes to relationships and dating, where you're willing to be emotionally available, I'm telling you, you'll be like a magnet to the right one.
Okay, Virgos, that's what we want. I've had Virgos in my life. My dad was a Virgo too. Is there a difference between men and women Virgos?
Yes. The male Virgo always wants to focus on like the finances and like they're a little bit more rigid when it comes to that kind of thing. Whereas, and they also, I would say with female Virgos, they're more about like getting people together. They're more about like the party side of things. Like they still want to have fun, where the men sometimes can just be a little too rigid.
Isn't Harry, Prince Harry, a Virgo? Is he a Virgo?
I think he is.
And she's a Leo.
Yeah, Megan's a Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they get along?
I looked at their charts. I don't love it, but you know, at the end of the day, any two people can work. And honestly, if you look at your charts together, you can see where your strengths are and where you gotta work.
That's true. It's kind of general, right? Okay. Virgo, let's see. I'm sorry, what?
I would say Harry probably works on the budget.
On the budget? Okay, so Virgo, Libra.
Libra, very good. Okay, so Libra this year. Can we stop running around? Libra, stop chasing things, okay? There's a difference between having a goal and moving towards it and chasing one thing to the next. Chasing, like you've been chasing your life like you're a dog with a ball. Like, you know, you've been going all over the place. And so this year is about learning how to find that balance, that harmony when it comes to going for what it is that you want, but in a steady, more patient, day by day, you know, kind of way. Libra, you're promised a lot in this year ahead, but it's not going to be overnight. It's going to be over year. So instead of focusing on, I got to be an overnight success, I want you to be an over year success. Okay. I want you to realize that this year is a buildup into something really great for you. And whatever it is that you want to move into, it's yours. But the chasing isn't helping anything. You're just running in circles and circles and circles. And that's with everything. That's with your health. That's with your career. It's also with your relationships. So that's a big piece of kind of what's happening for Libra right now. We want to see you start to settle down a little bit and just take things day by day and trust.
That's really good advice. So they have to be patient is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Wow. So, okay. So that's Libra. So after Libra is Scorpio, right?
Yeah. Scorpio. So Scorpio this year is, you know, I'd say there's a lot of different things kind of happening. I'd say with career, you're actually in a really good place right now for things to just kind of be steady and moving in a momentum that serves you. I want to see you getting out of the house more this year, though, Scorpio, traveling more, making new friends, doing things that are different. You're a little too stuck in your routine, and you're going to notice that 2020 is trying to push you out of your comfort zone, just so you start to have a little bit of fun, just so you can start to change things up a little bit. Because when you're too in your routine or you're hibernating too much, you think it's what you want, but it doesn't fully light you up. It kind of dims you a little bit.
So isn't how people like talk about Scorpio being like they're good in bed, like they're good for sex? Is that true?
Yeah, it is. So, you know, Scorpio governs the reproductive system.
Oh.
Yeah, all the signs represent different parts. Like Leo is heart.
Right.
So Scorpio represents, the reproductive system. So they're good in bed. They're very intense. So
yeah. So they're hyper focused.
They're hyper focused. They know what they want and they know how to make a connection.
Right. Wow. Okay. Did you ever date a Scorpio?
I have. It's fun. It's very fun. But as far as like a relationship,
forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then okay. So after Scorpio is Sagittarius.
Yeah. So Sagittarius is very interesting. You've been having a lot of fun. And this is the year where you're starting to like grow up a little bit. All my Sagittarians are growing up. Sagittarius, this is the year that you might get engaged. This is the year that you actually get a financial planner. That, you know, like you're starting to think about like, what does it mean to be a grown up? You might buy a house this year. Like there's definitely some big milestones in adulting for you.
And what about relationships with Sagittarians already, if they're in a relationship?
Yeah. If you're in a relationship, I could see engagement 100%. If you're already married, you might be having the conversation for kids. Like there's something going on in your relationship that's signifying I'm ready for the next level, and be open to that. So if you're feeling like I want to move in with my partner, I'm ready to engage, like this is the year to do it. I encourage you to.
Okay. And then after Sagittarius is Capricorn.
Capricorn, this is a big year for you. So Capricorn, this is really a great year for you when it comes to career. It's also a really good year for you where you can start to be a little bit creative. Like I feel like our Capricorns have kind of been holding back a little when it comes to creativity because they tend to be, very much like, I have to be the executive. I have to be the one in charge. I have to be the one that's no fun. This is the year where like all your hard work can start to pay off. We want to see you have a little bit more fun. We want to see you be a little bit more creative. Like there's more that you can do and like show us that.
And how's romance for Capricorns or family?
Yeah, I would say Capricorn, it might be just kind of steady this year. This year is more about you and like having fun, moving your career forward, moving your creative gifts forward. Clearly, if you're in a relationship, there may be some steadiness. There may be some friction though too. This might be the year where Capricorn, you might have to go to couples therapy or you may have to rethink your relationship. And I don't always want to be the bearer of bad news, but like it may be at that point. And if it is, just like trust the process.
Okay. Okay. And health for Capricorns?
Pretty good, actually. It's been rough, but this is a year where you're finally like, I think that's what's going to help with the creativity piece.
Oh, that's good. And so Aquarius, what about Aquarius?
Okay. So Aquarius, you're in a really big spot when it comes to partnerships. So if you're a single Aquarian, probably the year where you're going to meet someone special. So be open to that, particularly if you haven't already. I say by the end of the summer, there could be a significant romance coming through. If you're in a relationship, this is definitely a time to, strengthen your relationship, do new things together, keep it spicy and fun. Because if you don't, and again, you get too much of a routine, it might grow a little bit stale. So we don't want that. Right. Overall, though, with my Aquarians, you're in a space right now where there's, I want you working on bigger projects. When I say bigger projects, maybe this is the year that you write your book, but your book isn't released yet, right? Like it's all about creating something that may not be released till the following year.
Okay.
What are you building? There's building energy.
Building for Aquarians.
Building for Aquarians, building energy. So
what about health for Aquarians?
I would say, so how's the health sector going to be? Health, I watch out. One thing I would be really mindful of is like headspace. Watch out for migraines, things of that nature. And a lot of times that's some kind of external pressure that you're putting on yourself.
Right.
But there's no need for any pressure this year.
And we're in Pisces right now, aren't we?
Yes, we are. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Pisces.
Hi, Pisces. Happy birthday. So what we'd love to see for you this, you're having a birthday during a retrograde that's happening. Mercury retrograde is happening in Pisces right now.
Right.
Sometimes when we have our birthday during a Mercury retrograde, it really puts us into this space where we're reflecting and it can bring up a lot of emotions. So if you're in this space right now, Pisces, where you're feeling like you're getting a little reminiscence of the past or you're like kind of longing for what was, let's just leave that where it may be. Okay. Yeah. And let's like really like look to where you are now, look to what's really working in your life and look to the opportunity that lies ahead for you. This upcoming year for the rest of your birthday and into where we're going is really great when it comes to health. Health is doing amazing. So really honor that. Traveling more. We want to see you. If you're a Pisces that's getting ready for retirement, this is a good year to do it. Have some fun. Go to Florida. Get your beach chair ready.
That's so funny. My brother-in-law just turned 85 and he's a Pisces and they're in Florida.
Of course they are. Yeah. Yeah. I would say Pisces were born ready to retire.
Right? Yeah. You know what? That's so true about him. Like all he likes to do is play golf.
Yeah. Yeah, so go do that. But
that's hilarious that you say that. That's so funny. And is that it? Are those all the signs? Okay, so I'm really excited to hear about, we're going to take a quick break, but I really want to hear about the United States and what you feel about, what's coming up for the world and all that, okay? Yeah. Okay, so you guys don't go away because this is really important because there's so much going on in our world right now. Hey everybody, it's Sunny and Char, and I am so excited. I am over the moon to share with you that I have a new book coming out called The Universe is Calling You, and there's an amazing foreword by RuPaul. There's an endorsement by Chris Colfer. It's about understanding your intuition. It's about protecting yourself from negative energies. It's about understanding your essence and your true purpose and your soul's purpose on this earth. You can get it at barnesandnoble.com. You can get it at amazon.com. I would love for you to order the book and let me know what you think of it. Write a review for us if you feel like it. Thanks so much. Hey everybody, it's Sunny and Char, and I just wanted to answer a couple questions. People have been calling the office and texting and emailing. Do I do private sessions? Well, yes, I do. And I love reading for my clients. I do phone, Skype, FaceTime, and in person if we're in the same city. I also teach intuition. So if you have an interest in doing that, or if you have to, if you're interested in getting your family together and you want a group reading, I do those as well. So just call 248-909-2427, ask for Nicole, and I look forward to reading for you. Thanks. Okay, so we're back with Danielle Mercurio, the amazing astrologer who's gone through all our signs, and we're getting a lot of play on Facebook. But I really want to touch the lives of all of us and what's going on with our planet, what's going on with America, the United States.
Yes. So, when we look at 2020, it's this, there was a lot of energy and excitement around the fact that, hey, like this is a new decade, right? Fresh opportunity. We're leaving our teenage years behind,
Right.
Right. So we've left.
That's a really good way to put it.
Mm-hmm. And now we're 20 and we're entering our 20s, and collectively we are adulting in some ways, but we're still getting our footing. And so 2020 may not be the year where it's like everything happens for us.
Mm-hmm.
But everything happens for us to turn into something really amazing the following year. And so this year, some of the big things that are going to be happening for us, first of all, this is a year of foundation. This is a year of really learning how to be responsible. We talked about this a little bit with some of the signs in particular, but it's something we want to look at overall, particularly because a lot of the energy of this year is similar to the energy of 2008. That's when we had a recession. So we really
I've been warning my clients.
Yeah. The energy mirrors it. It's interesting. One day I had a ping, like, go look at the charts of 2008 and look at the charts of 2020. Very similar. So we want to be mindful. We're not going to say we're going to have a crash. I'm not saying anything like that, but I am saying like, this isn't the year to splurge. This isn't the year to make some crazy money decisions. We really want to look at being responsible in that way.
Right. And use your intuition and your guidance to do the right things.
Absolutely, do the right things, because it's going to pay. And part of it too is not just to protect yourself from something bad happening, but to set you up for the long run. This is a year where there's a lot of potential. If you make the right investments and decisions and save your money accordingly this year, it's really going to set you up in a really beautiful way. That's
so good to know. What about what's going on with the government or I don't want to put you on the spot.
No, it's okay, because I was going to talk about this because it's really interesting what's happening right now. Unfortunately, there's a lot of scattered energy in politics this year. And
you think?
Really scattered. And unfortunately, it's going to contain, unless, again, there's free will. So
right. Exactly.
If you're watching and you're in politics, please get it together, because the cosmic energy around the political climate right now is very scattered, and it's only going to get worse. It's going to reach its peak in the summer. I would say June, early July. It's going to be really messy. There's going to be a lot of conflict, a lot of people butting heads, a lot of people with opposing beliefs, and no one seeming able on either side to really make a decision as to what the right way to move forward is. And unfortunately, and we're going to think we found a resolution, and we're going to think we're catching our breath in August. And then once we hit the fall, it's all going to tank again, because what's happening is we're having a Mars retrograde. Mars is all about power, and it's taking a reversal. Now we might think, hey, so I will say things will go either way.
Right.
Power is making a reversal in the fall.
Right.
There will also be a Mercury retrograde that ends the day before the election. And
what does that mean?
So essentially what it means is technology, the way that we communicate is all going to be a little bit wonky. So I would say October, November is going to be a really interesting time, because what's going to happen is different power plays are going to be happening. People are going to be thinking in different ways. There's going to be a lot of different perspectives. And I unfortunately think a lot of people are going to be confused.
Mm-hmm.
There's uncertainty now. And unfortunately, the way things are ending up, there's still uncertainty present in the fall. But what I will say is whatever happens in November, this time around, it is really going to create the dynamic that we need to move forward. I don't know what the outcome's going to be. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I knew what the outcome was going to be based on the stars in 2016. I didn't want to admit it.
Right.
Like, I'm wrong. And, here we are.
Right.
This time, though, I know deep down, no matter what happens, whatever the outcome is, mm-hmm. it is going to work in our favor. And the scatteredness and the fighting is going to end. I do know that.
Really?
I really feel, based on what this is representing, the fighting will stop.
What about the financial situation in our country now?
You
said a recession, or not, that's 2008.
It's mirroring the 2008 energy.
Yeah. And okay, go on.
We gotta be careful.
What about, do you know anything about this coronavirus thing, or?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you were saying earlier. I actually was talking to a friend about it, and I think, mm-hmm. What happens is a lot of times we don't want to deal with our own stuff. So it manifests as an illness, and then we want to focus on that illness, and we want to blow up that illness and make the illness the problem when we're not really looking at our own thing as well. So I just think this is just a short-term manifestation of our chaos. And I do think it's going to start to die down.
Do you know what month, or?
Honestly, soon. I think it's going to be sooner than we think if we can get her.
Well, that'll be good. And then
I would like to say like a month from now, it'll calm down.
That would be really good. I would like
to see it calm down around March 24th. So around the end of March. That would be really good.
Boy, Danielle, you are just delightful. I am so happy that you found me, or I found you.
Yes.
I'm so happy. Will you come back again?
Of course, I would love to.
Okay, because I just love astrology, and I don't know much about it, and I love listening to you. And how can people get a hold of you?
Yeah, so the best way is just follow my name. So DanielleMercurio.com.
Okay, but that's spell it.
So it's Danielle, Danielle, and then Mercurio, like Mercury, Mercurio.
Mercurio, like Mercury. I didn't even think of that.
I know, and this is my real name. People think I made it up. No, Danielle Mercurio. So you can find me on my website there. I'm on Facebook. I also love Instagram. That's probably where I spend a lot of my time.
Okay.
My handle's at Danielle Mercurio. And then the podcast, The Danielle Mercurio Show, our episode will be airing.
Do you do private? Our episode will be airing when?
In a few weeks. I don't know the exact date, but you know what we'll do?
What?
We'll do it on you're having a new moon birthday on March 24th. So we'll do it around your new moon birthday.
Oh, thank you. And do you do private sessions?
I do. So,
and you're a medium, or you're psychic, and you're astrologer. You do it all.
Yeah. Yes, I do it all. So I don't always say that I'm a psychic in my.
Okay, don't tell anyone, you guys.
Yeah.
It's a secret.
But yes, I do private readings.
Okay.
And if you go to my website, there's an astrology tab, and you can find the different kinds of sessions.
Yeah. Well, it's just delightful to know you. I appreciate you being here, and I look forward until we meet again. Thank you so much for coming.
You're so welcome. Thank you as well.
My pleasure. Really delightful. Thank you. Okay, everybody, that's it for tonight. I will next week I have a travel expert on next week, so that'll be interesting to see how the traveling's going in this day right now with all that's going on with the coronavirus. And then I'll take some phone calls next week so you can start calling and get in line. So I'll read for people next week. I'm looking forward to that. And I guess that's it for now. Be safe, stay in the white light, stay in the mirrored egg, and remember, intuition will take you places logic never could. Be well. Bye-bye.